Dr. David Kipping is an astronomer and professor at Columbia University who recently received tenure. He grew up in the UK, studied physics at Cambridge University, and then pursued astronomy for his PhD in London before moving to the United States. Kipping runs a popular YouTube channel called Cool Worlds Lab and hosts a podcast of the same name, which have helped him connect with a wider audience and even secure donations to fund his research. He considers himself a polymath who resists being labeled solely as an experimentalist or theorist, preferring to work across different areas of astronomy, physics, and even philosophy. Kipping's research focuses heavily on the search for exoplanets and exomoons. He recently secured 60 hours of observation time on the James Webb Space Telescope to search for an exomoon around the planet Kepler 167e, which he discovered in 2016. This planet closely resembles Jupiter in many ways, making it an ideal candidate to potentially host moons similar to those in our solar system. Kipping hopes that discovering exomoons will open up a new field of study, much like how the discovery of exoplanets 30 years ago revolutionized astronomy. He believes exomoons could provide valuable insights into planetary formation, potentially harbor life, and help us better interpret future observations of distant Earth-like planets. The conversation touches frequently on the search for life in the universe. Kipping explained that liquid water seems to be a key requirement for life as we know it, along with an energy source and some form of information storage system like DNA or RNA. He discusses the possibility of subsurface life on moons like Europa and Enceladus in our own solar system, which are thought to have liquid water oceans beneath their icy crusts. He also addresses the challenges of detecting sustainable alien civilizations, as they may be indistinguishable from natural biospheres if they achieve perfect equilibrium with their environment. Kipping shares his thoughts on the Fermi Paradox, the apparent contradiction between the high probability of alien civilizations existing and the lack of evidence for them. He suggests that civilizations may struggle to maintain long-term sustainability, potentially explaining why we don't see evidence of galactic empires or hear radio signals from alien civilizations. He emphasizes the awesome responsibility and potential humanity has to shape its own future, noting that there are no fundamental physical laws preventing us from one day colonizing the entire galaxy if we choose to do so. The podcast explores various factors that might make Earth special or rare in the universe. Kipping discusses the importance of our moon in stabilizing Earth's axis and potentially enabling plate tectonics, which is crucial for the carbon cycle and long-term habitability. He also touches on the unique properties of our sun, the advantageous position of Earth in the Goldilocks zone, and our location in a relatively stable part of the galaxy. While these factors might suggest Earth is special, he cautions against drawing firm conclusions given our limited data on other planetary systems. The conversation briefly touches on black holes, including the recently discovered massive black hole T618. Kipping explains that the existence of such large black holes in the early universe poses a puzzle for astronomers, as it's unclear how they could have grown so massive so quickly after the Big Bang. He mentions some potential explanations, including the possibility of primordial black holes formed directly from the conditions of the early universe. Kipping shares his fascination with the far future of the universe and humanity's potential role in it. He discussed the concept of star lifting, the theoretical possibility of removing mass from stars to extend their lifespans. This could potentially allow advanced civilizations to inhabit red dwarf star systems for trillions of years. He also touches on the idea of becoming a multiplanetary species, suggesting that while it would provide some protection against certain threats, true long-term survival would require becoming an interstellar or even intergalactic civilization. Throughout the conversation, Kipping reflects on various challenges in academia and science. He expresses frustration with the trend towards extreme specialization in astronomy and other scientific fields, arguing that this can limit researchers' ability to see connections between different areas of study. He also discusses the political and personal conflicts that can arise in niche fields of study, as well as the challenges of securing funding for high-risk, high-reward research. He emphasizes the importance of science communication and public outreach, noting that his YouTube channel and other public-facing work have allowed him to pursue research questions that might be difficult to fund through traditional academic channels. The podcast delves into some fundamental questions about the nature of the universe. Kipping explains the concept of the observable universe and the challenges of determining the true size of the universe beyond what we can see. He discusses the possibility that the universe might be infinite, exploring the philosophical implications of such a scenario, including the idea that infinite copies of ourselves might exist. He also touches on the concept of the universe's flatness and what that might imply about its overall structure and future. Kipping reflects on humanity's place in the timeline of the universe, noting the apparent contradiction between the principle of mediocrity, which suggests we shouldn't expect to be special, and the fact that we exist very early in the universe's potential lifespan. He speculates on possible explanations for this, including the idea that the far future might be inhospitable to life for reasons we don't yet understand. He also shares personal reflections on the passage of time and the importance of living in the present while maintaining a sense of urgency about making the most of our limited time. The conversation briefly touches on quantum entanglement and the common misconception that it could allow for faster-than-light communication. Kipping explains why this isn't possible, using the analogy of a box of shoes to illustrate how quantum entanglement works and why it can't be used to transmit information faster than light. Throughout the podcast, Kipping emphasizes the value of interdisciplinary thinking and resisting the trend towards extreme specialization in academia. He argues that some of the most interesting discoveries and insights come from making connections between different fields of study. His own work exemplifies this approach, as he draws on physics, astronomy, biology, chemistry, and even philosophy in his research and public outreach efforts.